You're not getting stupid all at once. There's no dramatic collapse. No moment where alarms go off and everyone around you notices. It's quieter than that. Slower. More dangerous. You're getting dull increment by increment, neuron by neuron, day by day. And the most disturbing part? You're doing it to yourself through habits so normal, so socially accepted, so deeply embedded in modern life that if anyone challenged them, you'd defend them instinctively. You'd say, "Everyone does this." And you'd be right. That's exactly why it's happening. Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman doesn't study motivation quotes or productivity myths. He studies the real brain, the fragile biological machine that determines how clearly you think, how long you can focus, how well you remember, and how sharp you remain as the years pass. And what his research reveals is unsettling. Because the things dismantling your cognitive function aren't extreme. They're not drugs. They're not trauma. They're not genetic time bombs waiting to explode. They're rituals. The scroll before bed. The phone check the second you wake up. The way you eat. The way you don't move. The constant noise you mistake for connection. Each one feels harmless, almost invisible. But over time, they carve permanent grooves into your neural pathways. And one day, without realizing when it happened, you'll notice something missing. Your sharpness, your depth, your ability to sit with a thought and actually finish it. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly how your daily behaviors are chemically rewiring your brain, and you'll face a choice. Pretend this is normal, or stop. Let's start where it begins. Morning, your eyes open. Before your feet touch the floor, your hand reaches for your phone. Blue light floods your retinas. Notifications stack like silent demands: emails, messages, headlines, outrage, curated happiness, distant tragedy, opinions you never asked for. You think you're checking in. You're not. You're surrendering. Huberman's research shows that the first 90 minutes after waking are a neurological goldmine. Your brain is highly plastic. Dopamine sits at baseline. Cortisol, the hormone responsible for alertness and focus, is naturally elevated. This is when your brain is most impressionable. And what do you feed it? Chaos, fragmentation, emotional spikes engineered by algorithms designed to hijack attention. When you grab your phone before your mind has stabilized, you're not starting your day, you're outsourcing control of your nervous system. You're training your brain to believe clarity comes from stimulation instead of intention. And every morning you repeat this, you weaken your ability to concentrate later. 10 minutes of scrolling at 7 a.m. doesn't feel destructive. But neurologically, it teaches your prefrontal cortex one lesson. Distraction comes first. Now let's talk about the lie you tell yourself at night. I'll sleep when I'm dead. You wear exhaustion like a badge. Like rest is weakness. Like grinding yourself down makes you superior. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain has a cleaning system called the glymphatic system. It only activates during deep sleep. Its job is to flush out metabolic waste, including beta amyloid, the same toxic protein found in Alzheimer's disease. When you cut sleep short, you're not being productive. You're letting waste accumulate in your brain. Huberman puts it plainly. Sleep is not passive. It's the most active neurological process you undergo. Memory consolidation, emotional regulation, synaptic pruning, learning, all of it happens while you're unconscious. After 17 hours awake, your cognitive performance mirrors legal intoxication. After multiple nights of 5 hours of sleep, your IQ measurably drops. And here's the cruelest part. Sleep deprivation damages your ability to recognize how impaired you are. You feel fine. You're not. You're operating at a fraction of your capacity and calling it normal. Now let's talk about the drug you don't think is a drug. Dopamine. Every notification, every scroll, every like, every unpredictable reward. These platforms are engineered around variable reinforcement, the same mechanism used in slot machines. And you're pulling the lever hundreds of times a day. Dopamine isn't pleasure. It's anticipation. It's desire. And when you overstimulate it constantly, your baseline collapses. Receptors downregulate. Motivation fades. Nothing feels rewarding anymore. This isn't depression. It's depletion. And here's the intelligence connection. Dopamine is essential for working memory, focus, and cognitive flexibility. When your dopamine system is fried, you can't sustain attention. You can't read deeply. You can't tolerate boredom. And boredom is where insight lives. Creativity, problem solving, original thought. You've eliminated boredom entirely. Every gap is filled. Every silence erased. Every pause hijacked. Now your mind feels like a browser with 100 tabs open and no memory left to run anything meaningful. And then there's multitasking, the most celebrated cognitive myth of modern life. You're not multitasking. You're fragmenting. Every task switch leaves behind attention residue. Part of your mind stays stuck on the previous task. The result? You're never fully present, never fully thinking, never going deep. Huberman explains that the prefrontal cortex, the seat of reasoning and self-control, is the most energy-expensive region of the brain. Fatigues fast. By mid-afternoon, you're exhausted not because you worked hard, but because you worked scattered. The people who build things that matter don't protect time. They protect attention, because attention is the rarest resource you have. Now look at your body. You sit all day, every day, cars, desks, couches, and you think the damage is physical. It's not. Movement increases blood flow to the brain, boosts BDNF fertilizer for neurons, and enhances neuroplasticity. When you don't move, your brain slows, memory suffers, mood declines, learning weakens. You say you don't have time, but you have time to scroll for hours. You just don't prioritize what actually makes your brain function better. And finally, stress. Stress itself isn't the enemy. Chronic stress without recovery is. Acute stress sharpens focus, but constant cortisol becomes neurotoxic. The hippocampus, responsible for memory and learning, shrinks under prolonged stress. The emotional brain overrides the rational one. You become reactive instead of reflective, impulsive instead of strategic. Not because you're broken, because your environment is chemically sabotaging you. So now what? Knowledge without action changes nothing. Most people will recognize themselves here and change nothing, because familiarity feels safer than freedom. But Huberman's work isn't just warning, it's protocol. Morning sunlight, delayed caffeine, deep rest, movement, focused work, real recovery, not hacks, foundations. And they only work if you decide your mind is worth protecting. Here's the truth. You are not your habits, but you become them. Every scroll is a vote. Every sleepless night is a vote. Every distracted morning is a vote. And those votes compound until one day you blame age, or genetics, or luck, instead of the rituals you chose. Or you stop. Now, because awareness without action is just sophisticated suffering. And you didn't come this far to suffer elegantly. You came to wake up. So wake up. If this shook you, that's not fear, it's awareness waking up. Most people will ignore it and keep drifting. You don't have to. Every habit you change is a step back toward clarity, focus, and control. This channel exists for minds that refuse to decay quietly. If you're ready to think sharper, live deeper, and stay awake in a world designed to dull you, subscribe to Minds Noctis. Don't scroll past your own awakening.